Okay, good evening students. Today I discussed the concept of electric flux in my lecture. Some of you have missed out the lecture, so I am trying to reach you by this particular method. Hope you will understand. See, today's topic was electric flux. You can see out here that there are lines of forces which I have drawn, and there are three areas, right? One area is drawn in such a way that if I draw direction to this area, then the direction is outwards. For this particular area, direction is somewhere here, and for this particular area, direction is this side. So as per the concept of flux, it defines as total electric lines of force passing normally to area. That means electric lines of force should pass normally to the area. Now out of these three, only this particular phase is present where electric forces are passing normally to the area. Out here, angle is not 90 degree, it is other than 90 degree, and for this case angle is 0 degree. So we consider that the flux is 0 here. Since it is just grazing on the surface, out here theta is the angle is not 0, neither 90 degree, so the value of flux is less than 0. More than 0, less than 90 degree. In this case, since the angle is 90 degree, you can see, therefore we consider flux to be maximum. But mathematically, the value of flux we calculate by the formula E into A cos theta, where theta is the angle between normal drawn on the area with respect to electric field. Now you can check out here that there is a sheet which I have drawn. This sheet is a vector quantity because its area is a vector quantity. Its direction, as I have already drawn, it is normal to the sheet, and I'm assumed that electric field is this side. So you can see that the angle between both is 90 degree. So if the angle is 90 degree, then we consider flux to be 0, because you can see that this is matching with this diagram where direction of electric field, direction of area is this side and electric field is this side, 90 degree. Hope you have understood. So here we are getting flux to be 0, right? If I consider then in the next slide you can see, in the next slide you can see that I have drawn again the area. Here direction and electric field are parallel to each other, but at the same time electric field is normal to the phase. So out here the value of flux is always maximum, and in this case direction and electric field are not normal, so the value of flux is obviously less than maximum, more than minimum, that is more than 0. Here SI unit of electric flux can be calculated by this formula. Electric field has a unit Newton per coulomb and area has a unit of meter square, so we get Newton meter square per coulomb. Now in order to make the concept very much clear, I tried numericals. I have taken a numerical which is taken from NCERT book. Solved example 1.12. You can see the question, as I am not writing the question, otherwise video will be of larger size. As per the question, there is a cylinder given, and it is shown, it is given that electric field is along x-axis. If you go negative x-axis, the value of field is negative. If you go positive x-axis, value of field is positive. But whatever is the case, you can see out here that electric field should pass normally to the area. In this cylinder there are three faces. One is this face, flat face, second flat face, and the curved surface. You can see that electric field is ranging this side, right? So if electric field is ranging this side, then obviously we will be getting flux in this particular face as well as in this particular face. We will not be getting flux this side, as electric field is normal out there, right? So as per the question was, you are required to calculate flux, that is outward flux, right? You are required to calculate outward flux, right? Required to calculate flux this side as well as flux this side. What is our formula? Formula is E into ds. Here ds is representing area, it stands for OA. So E into ds. Out here also E into ds. You can see electric field and ds, they are parallel. Here also electric field and ds will be parallel. So the flux should be of positive value. This flux is also positive, this flux is also positive because electric field and area are parallel. In that particular diagram, I calculated in the left face that electric field into ds, that is area, since there is a dot product, so cos 0 degree we get eds in the left side. By putting the value electric field 200 and pi r square, that is area of that disk, we get this particular answer. For right also similarly, if we proceed, we will get this answer. Second question was, you are required to calculate flux through the side of the cylinder. Side of the cylinder means which part? Side of the cylinder means this part. So as already told you that the flux this side is 0. So here we are getting the value of flux to be 0 out here, right? Next thing is, there was question number C, you are required to calculate total flux. So total flux means you are required to calculate flux due to this phase, flux due to this phase, flux due to this phase. So this plus this flux will be the total flux which I have calculated, and I got 3.14. Fourth question was also given, but fourth question I can't solve out here because we have not discussed Gauss theorem. After Gauss theorem we can easily solve the problem. Now today only I started with the Gauss theorem also, right? Today only I started with the Gauss theorem also. So as per Gauss theorem, it states that closed surface integral of electric field is always equal to total charge enclosed divided by permittivity. Okay, so we are just proving it. We are taking a charge Q here. We are trying to calculate electric field at this particular point. So as per the demand of Gauss theorem, you have to enclose this charge by a closed surface. So I have taken a spherical closed surface which is enclosing the charge Q, and this spherical closed surface has a radius of r. Since the value of area is so big that we are taking a very small area out here, you can see I have named it as n cap, where n cap is representing the unit vector normal to this particular area, right? And electric field is also shown out here. You can see electric field and area are parallel to each other, so obviously flux will be maximum. So since this is the equation which we are required to prove, so I am taking LHS, I'll try to get the RHS. LHS E dot ds, E ds, E into area of the sphere. Electric field due to single charge already calculated in the earlier class, that was Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R square, and the area of the sphere is nothing but 4 pi R square. So 4 pi r square, and out here 4 pi r square cancels, we get Q by epsilon naught. Hence we started with E dot ds and we are getting Q by epsilon naught, which proves Gauss theorem. Today only I discussed the application also. Here we are calculating electric field due to long straight uniformly charged wire. So we are taking a charged wire out here. Since this wire has a uniform distribution of charge, right? Here quantization rule doesn't take place. So I have taken a wire which is uniformly charge distributed, and I am enclosing fully wire using a cylinder of length L and radius R. We are applying Gauss theorem here. E dot ds, total charge by epsilon naught, but we don't know the value of charge, that's why we are using the density concept. Let lambda be the linear charge density, then lambda is equal to, I can write dq by dl, or simply I can write q by l. Here q is representing total charge, which can be calculated by the formula lambda l. Applying Gauss theorem, E dot ds is equal to total charge by epsilon naught, that is lambda l by epsilon naught. So you can what I have done is, since there are three faces, right? One is top face, bottom face, curved surface. So for top face, what is the value of flux? We are getting 0. Why 0? You can see area going upwards, electric field this side. So they are making an angle of 90 degree. And we are calculating electric field at the curved surface. You can see area this side, electric field also this side, parallel. So maximum we are getting here. And for this particular case, electric field downwards, area downwards, electric field this side, so making an angle of 90 degree, so flux is 0. So these two are not contributing for the flux, so we are getting contribution due to this one, which is E dot ds2 is equal to lambda L by epsilon naught. Now after calculation, since electric field is a constant quantity, why? Charge is constant, distance is constant. So electric field is taken out of integral sign. Integrating ds2. If I integrate ds2, I'll get total curved surface area. And total curved surface area I'm getting as 2 pi r L, which is lambda L by epsilon naught. LL cancels. E is equal to lambda by epsilon naught. Thank you.